Sedalia. This place will put a hurtin' on you. Today, the NMRO All-Stars hope to find the secret of the menacing potion lying within this Missouri mud and turn it into a winning formula. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the All-Stars of the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Midwest Nationals. Welcome to Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network. Today we're at the Missouri State Fairgrounds in Sedalia for the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Midwest Nationals. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Lee. Actually, we're about 75 miles east of Kansas City. Now, in the Old West, 100 years ago, as is today, this part of the world is cattle country. And today we have some beefed-up power plants, as the best mud racers have gathered in the Show Me State for a side-by-side shootout. Right now, let's go trackside to my colleague, Army Armstrong, who is standing by with perhaps the quickest draw in today's competition.
Well, Gary, we're right down the road from Kansas City. Now, anybody that follows sports knows they call Kansas City Cowtown. Cowtown Cowboys. I want you to meet one of the Cowboys of Class 6. This is the class you really like, isn't it? You really like to get out here and buck and bronc with these guys.
Yeah, it's my favorite class, definitely, because it's the fastest, and I really feel at home in the car and just like to go wide open out here.
You think you can hang on and win this thing today?
Well, I sure hope so.
How about some of these other guys sitting back in the pit area? You know everybody has got you in their crosshairs. If nothing else, they want to beat you.
Yeah, they do, but this is one of the tracks that is a little bit more of a driver track, I think, and as long as I can hold it all the way to the floor, I'll be all right.
And today in Class 6, it will be a case of 8 survivors left from a brutal weekend of racing that has taken its toll. These cars will be, of course, swapping lanes, making 2 passes. The mud pit they'll be competing on is 5 feet shorter than the normal one, 175 feet instead of 180. Well, this is some of the heavy attrition we're talking about that took place in Class 5. Mike Hickerson here in Mind Games in the far lane was unable to continue following this run, where he sustained heavy front-end damage following this wheel stand.
That completely bent that frame, Gary, about 30 degrees from the engine forward.
Well, then, as you saw in our open, hard times for Doug Marsh in the near lane, taking on Ron Pence. Now, watch what happens. As you'll recall, Marsh was okay.
Kind of spooky as he reaches for the roll cage. Like you say, he made it through that one. He will walk away.
The most violent altercation of the weekend involved Jim McConville out in the far lane. McConville really got his bell rung, but besides that, he was able to walk away.
What spooked us about that run was his arms were flailing around inside that car. That was a scary moment.
Well, Army others, including Bill Hazelwood and Jim and Paula Harbuck, sustained damage in Class 5. That's the cut tire class. And were not able to continue to compete in Class 6, where you get to run those paddle tires. And earlier, Army took a look at the back rubber on those open, unlimited racing machines.
One of the interesting characteristics of the Class 6 competition are the tires they run. As a matter of fact, that basically is what separates them from all other classes. The tires we're going to be seeing in Class 6 are called scooper tires, and it's kind of self-explanatory. These big scoops are vulcanized on a racing tire, okay? And setting on the line, they have a flat appearance like this right here, so that when you leave the starting line, this much of the scoop literally grabs into the ground, okay? But you got to keep one thing in mind. Within a time span of less than 3.5 seconds, this tire will be going from standing completely still with a flat top to spinning at over 160 miles an hour, which makes the tire have a tendency to bow out a little bit, okay? It actually raises in the middle. So when you leave the line, you're scooping on this much rubber, but on the top end of the track, you're scooping on about that much rubber. That's what gives you all the top end speed, Gary.
Well, there's a look at Ron Pence and the favorite of many here, Tater. Ron's been having a wild weekend here in Sedalia, and here's a look at some runs he made earlier in Class 5.
Now, Ron Pence normally has a lock on this Class 5. That's the cut tire class. Cut tires, what we mean is they're legal highway tires that you modify. He over-modified, I believe, on that particular run, Gary.
Yeah, got disqualified for sure, went outside the given area. Now he does this one better, Army.
Yeah, but he's consistent, Gary. And if they gave points for that, our boy from Frederickstown would be right in there.
Well, here's a look at Gary Fain. in Mud Tough.
We don't see Gary that much on the national circuit, but I tell you what, this guy can jump up and run with anybody. He's out of Lone Jack, Missouri. He's not afraid to go against the big boys. As a matter of fact, who does he go against?
The big boy himself, Ron Pence-Tater. Let's see if Ron can keep it straight. Oh, a good pass for Ron, but Vane has trouble. A 3:02 for Ron Pence, and what a miss there for Gary Fain. There's a case where you just stay right there in your vehicle and let somebody else pull you out.
You find out who your friends are real quick. 3:02, that's a good number. He was crossed up going through the finish line. It's kind of like it wasn't a straight run, but it was a straight enough run, Gary.
Of course, Ron Pence is a guy who has his foot do the talking for him, but every now and then we get a chance to interview him. Here's Ron Pence in Army.
Ron, can you go quicker than a 3:00?
Well, I should be able to. We have a lot of times.
Do you think are you going to adjust your driving style when you go into the next lane for the next round, or will you do basically the same thing and just hope the car reacts quicker?
Well, I need to react quicker in the car, it looks like.
A man of few words, but we'll step aside while they dig out Gary Fain and come back with more side-by-side mud racing. Welcome back to the Missouri State Fairgrounds in Sedalia, Missouri, as Ford Trucks present the PENDA four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Midwest Nationals, a part of the B.F. Goodrich Performance Racing Series. I'm Gary Lee alongside Army Armstrong. We take a look at the real Mud Patrol with Tom Means.
You know, this is kind of interesting as Means goes to the line. This is the guy that if you follow the sport at all, if you just picked up in your casual follower, you've heard of this guy because, man, he will rock and roll you.
Well, we told you at the top of the show, he could be one of the quickest draws in the program. Here's a look at Tom in earlier Class 5 action. You knew then that this car was one of the stout goers in this competition here this afternoon.
Tom runs a different gear as he pulls up go against the Paris, Missouri native, David Chick. Tom's gearing, as he hits the lights, indication he's ready to go with his new sponsorship. Tom's gearing is for mile an hour. He just likes to go fast.
What he likes about this class, because this is the fastest.
Yeah, well, 3:02 is the official time he's going after. He's in a lane that'll hold it. What do you think, Gary?
Oh, it's a good ride. He lays down a dandy. Look at that, 262.
Bingo.
That's plenty fast as David turns in a 481, but Tom will have to be happy with that one.
Oh, yeah, Tom's got to be happy. We got to be up front with you about David, too. He's giving away about 1,000 horsepower there, so he knew that the Mud Patrol had him covered as far as the clocks are concerned, and boy, he sure did with the 2.62.
Well, we talked to him once. Let's talk to Tom again.
Well, Tom Mintz, right now, looks like you're the cowboy with that 262, but there's some big metal sitting back there coming after you.
Yeah, there's some mean hitters back there yet. I short shifted a little bit, only turned 7,500 in first. That kind of hurt me a little bit, but other than that, the pass was real smooth and straight.
Okay, now if you can go back and run again, are you in your mind comfortable with the fact that you can go faster than a 262 next time?
Yeah, I'm real confident of that.
Well, as we've already mentioned, tires are so crucial in this class as well as many forms of motorsports. We've already checked out the rear scoops, but now, Army, let's take a look throughout the rest of the rubber on these cars.
Gary, there are similarities in all forms of motorsports, and we found a similarity between drag racers, sprint car racers, and mud racers. The big difference between the three is the mud racers have twice the problem. Drag racers have always had a problem with slinging the rear wheels off. Sprint car guys have had the same problem, slinging that rear wheel off. Mud racers have a problem slinging all four wheels off. Well, the MRT people out of Missouri to develop the carbon fiber wheel have come up with a solution to the problem, and here's a breakaway wheel right here, and I'm going to show you how they do it. What you actually do is mount the tire under this lip right here. Then you bring the orange cap down, the MRT orange cap down, and actually pinch the tire on the rim. Now you got to remember, this tire will grow 6 inches in height. It will actually get 6 inches taller. So it is so very important to keep the wheel locked on here as it expands here. If not, you got 4 corners of trouble. Back to you, Gary.
And Army, that particular tire belongs to none other than Tom Martin, the Mud Patrol. Now, Martin, of course, is a bitter rival of the man who just laid down the benchmark run, Tom Means. And Tom will be taking on David Chick's wife, Nora, in Chickie's Toy 3. And Nora has already provided some excitement with this DQ run in Class 5 competition earlier this afternoon. Now, take a look.
She and her husband are at the amateur status of the sport. They do it for fun. She's serious about it. She came out of the hole, got a little bit crooked up, hooked a rut. Not the run she was looking for.
She was lucky with that high center of gravity not to roll that thing over.
You're exactly right. In the far lane, interesting story you alluded to a moment ago. I'm going to tell you about these two Toms. They don't even talk to each other in the pit area. They don't have time for each other. They just want to beat each other.
But a good run for Tom Martin.
262 is the number he had to beat. No.
277. Well, that'll put him in second on the leaderboard as we take a look at Nora Chick driving back to the paddock area at 481.
Well, Nora goes to 481. We didn't think that she would be a player. Meanwhile, Martin comes out with the Mud Patrol. Replay comes up for him. He's another wheeler dealer. Boy, he had him skinning and grinning down there, but he wasn't able to get the power down. The front wheels were light on him, Gary. That cost him some time. He's a player. He set number 2, but he didn't go quicker than a 262, and that's what he was shooting.
Well, you've had a chance to talk with our leader on the leaderboard. Let's talk to the guy who's now in second, Tom Martin in the Mud Patrol.
Let me say something. Ron Pence is sitting in this thing. Your nemesis, Tom Mintz, is sitting there, and you. It seems like the cream always comes to the top. They think they can go quicker. Will you go quicker in the next round? I'm just going to point blank ask you.
It just depends on the track. You know, the car can go quicker if we get a better track.
Well, a good pairing coming up for you now. You'll like this one. Tom Marsh in the Intruder right there, that purple bucket. And he pulls alongside Fred Wilhite, Money Pit. This should be a dandy.
Yeah, both these guys are grinners. They have fun no matter what they do. And Marsh, boy, he can lay a shot on you. And Wilhite went through a hot streak earlier this year. Remember, Gary? Nobody could touch him.
Yeah, he won this Class 5 event a year ago. He also won Class 5 at the '93 Spring Nationals in Lima, Ohio.
I wonder if he's washed his car since then. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
He'll make you wash it. Once again, that time to beat at 262. Whoa! Pit with some trouble over there. Marsh with the quicker of the two runs. His run will not be fast enough. Hang on there, Fred. Where are you going?
Helping us take down the crowd control tape.
409 for Fred. And for Tom, a 310. So that 262 is still the quick one this afternoon.
Now you
One more look.
Yeah, you got to remember now they're on a 5 feet shorter track. Normally they run 180 feet. They're running 175. The track is just weird here. It always has been. Look at the bounces they're taking. I'm sorry, cameraman. I know you had to get muddy on that one, but the vehicles are reacting real strange. See, it hooks to the right. Now it comes back, hooking to the left, like hooking a rut on a sprint car, Gary.
When you talk about hooking the rut, really the shutdown area can be more dangerous than the run itself, because if the car is not slowing down in a straight line, you can actually tuck that rubber under and roll the car side for side. It's a dangerous situation. This will conclude our first round of competition. The drivers will now come back, reverse the lanes, and do it all over again. The leaderboard showing Tom Means out front in the Mud Patrol at 262, then Tom Martin at 277, and Ron Pence is third on the leaderboard in Tater at 302. We're coming back. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are ready for round 2, and we're at the Missouri State Fairgrounds here in Sedalia. Army, this is the time when you hold nothing back.
No, it's the final run. You're either looking good or you're feeling bad. This guy's set number 3. Gary Fain sat next to him, had a bad run in the first round. So believe me, both of these guys are just literally the old term you've heard of before. They're going to put it on kill.
Like qualifying for an oval race. You lay down one lap, you get one lap in and really go for it in the second lap.
On the 5 o'clock qualifying session at the U.S. Nationals, or the last heat at Knoxville, baby, this is what racing is all about.
Good run for Tater. Let's see what that time is, though. Let's see if he can move up from that 3rd position on the leaderboard. Gary Fain is a 3:42, so he does log a time. Look at that, 2:63.
Hey, it's there.
But just a tick off the 2:62 he needed to beat. One more look now at Ron Pence in Tater. Lays down a 2:63. That puts him second on the leaderboard.
Ron, it's amazing. You travel thousands of miles, and right now you're just 1/100th of a second out of the lead.
Well, it's about as close as you can get, I guess, ain't it?
Any closer, you'd be tied for. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, now let's see if Tom Means can lay down a better run. The real Mud Patrol, Tom Means, will pull up alongside David Chick in Running Wild.
Tom teamed up with Paul Schaefer of the Monster Truck Monster Patrol with the Mud Patrol vehicle, and this is a money deal. He's a money racer. He's here for one thing, not second, not third. He wants that first place check. Now, who's he going up against in the other lane? One of the Chick family, right, Gary?
Yeah, the homemade creation there, driven by David Chick. We saw his wife in this earlier, Nora. It's a good family sport where you can do it together.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, he's on top of the mud there. Good run. Excellent run. Let's wait for the time. That was a dandy.
No.
David was a 390. We're still waiting for the Mud Patrol. 288. Well, not as quick as his first one, but he's still on top of the leaderboard with that 262. Take another look. Boy, he gets on top of the mud here.
Like skipping a rock is the whole deal here.
He's on top of it. Does a good job in the shutdown area, and he's standing alongside Army.
Tom, a 288 on that run in the second round. So your first round of a 262, that's what you're going to have to live and die by. Is that going to be able to stand up?
I hope it is. I just dodged a big bullet there with Tater. You know, he run that 263. I hate to lose, but I had to lose to anybody. Losing to him ain't bad, but I don't know. It was a pretty good run, but it moved a little bit to the left when it was moving around.
Okay, now how about Martin? I know there's no love lost between you guys. He's still back there. He's watched you. Now he's going to adjust his vehicle and come after you. What goes through your mind when you're thinking about that?
Well, it's out there. It's wide open. He can just try for it.
Well, all he can do now is simply watch, because he's laid down his 2 runs. As we take a look at the other Mud Patrol, that's Tom Martin. Tom will pull alongside Chicky's toy, Nora Chick.
Amazing the drama that is here. There's some rivalry, there's some questions here. We're here just to call the race and tell you the times. Time to beat is 262. Martin.
Ever so close, but let's see what the time is. 285. So these second runs are actually slowing down at DNF for Nora, and she's stuck in the mud.
Boy, I tell you, Gary, she's still having problems.
Well, Tom Means remains on top at 262. Ron Pence up to second at 263, and Tom Martin is third. Welcome back to the Missouri State Fairgrounds in Sedalia, where Ford Trucks present the Penda 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Midwest Nationals, a part of the B.F. Goodrich Performance Series. These jamborees offer a host of activities for the truck lover as well as the entire family. And to find out more, call or write the Special Events Promotion Company. Well, our leader is Tom Means, and there is a look at Tom. All he can do is wait and watch. Our final matchup will have Fred Wilhite, Money Pit. Right there is Fred, as he will pull alongside Tom Marsh, Intruder.
Either of these cars are capable of laying down the shot. The shot being anything quicker than a 262.
Well, I'll tell you, both these guys have had their problems so far this afternoon.
But they're both going back to the line. They're going to take a shot at it. It's so amazing, and it's something like drag racers amaze me. They'll travel so far, spend so much time and money. The game is less than 3 seconds long. But to these guys, Gary, it's not a game, is it?
No, this is serious business. You travel this far, you tow all the way, you spend this kind of money. This is not a game. This is not a hobby. This is serious motorsports. Once again, the time to beat. There it is on your screen at 262. The last 2 guys to have a shot at it.
Whoa, far lane, big bounce. He broncoed it. Now he's in the other lane, trying to shut her down. Gary, he's coming towards you.
I'll tell you what, it looked like maybe the kill switch didn't work on that car. Fred's a 409, and Marsh took it all the way to the guardrail here on this oval. He was disqualified. That is scary when that car shoots out of that pit and simply does not slow down.
Well, you got to remember, I really believe about this. Look at that bounce. He took a ride, came over. Wilhite had to see that. That had to affect him. Meanwhile, Marsh, he definitely has his hands full.
Well, we'll take a look now at the final standings, which will show Tom Means as your winner at 262 and just an eyelash behind Ron Pence and Tater at 263, and Tom Martin comes in third at 277. So your top 3 positions here in Sedalia, Missouri. Well, let's go down now trackside to Victory Lane and talk with Tom Means, our winner.
Gary, we opened the show telling you about the cowboy here. Yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay. He did take the win today. Congratulations to you. But it wasn't easy by any means, was it?
No, we've had a rough day today, but there's just a lot of people behind me I got to thank. Paul Schaefer, Ron Olson, Barrington Performance, Bill Mintz, my dad, and my fiancee, Debbie.
All right, congratulations. You did a great job.
Thanks a lot, Army.
If you're going to call him the cowboy, you better get him a Stetson there, Army, and not that sun visor. Well, our congratulations to Tom Meets. That's going to wrap it up from here in Sedalia. For Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. We'll see you next week on Trucks and Tractor Power. Now here's news of an exciting video release from Diamond P Sports.
Want to walk away with a free Diamond P hat? Well, now you can do just that when you buy And They Walked Away 3. Diamond P's latest helmet-hammering, bone-jarring thrill ride featuring motorsport's most perilous moments. By calling 1-800-257-9191, you get the free Diamond P hat and 70 minutes of heart-stopping action. Stock cars tangle and tumble on the oval high banks. Drag racers experience terrifying infernos. Sprint cars dance too close and pay the consequences. Mud racers, monster trucks, and motorcycles explode in awesome displays of men and metal turn to mayhem. And in each breathtaking incident, the driver beats the odds. To get your copy of And They Walked Away 3 plus a free Diamond P hat, call 1-800-257-9191 for credit card orders, or send check or money order for $24.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. That's 1-800-257-9191.